On the national stage, President Joe Biden has signed a foreign aid package that will distribute $95 billion to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan.
And locally, the city of Fullerton's historic Hunt Library has renovated and reopened following an 11-year closure.
Welcome to CSUF News, Cal State Fullerton student-run broadcast. I'm Andrea Restrepo.
And I'm Violeta Sanchez.
President Joe Biden has announced the signing of a foreign aid bill worth $95 billion on April 24th. The bill's approval came after months of long debate in Congress. The bill will be sending over $60 billion to Ukraine, $26 billion to Israel, and $8 billion to Taiwan. The majority of funds are being sent to Ukraine, along with air defense equipment and munitions for artillery. Biden cited a humanitarian effort for Ukraine and Gaza, with hopes of providing food, water, and medical supplies with the money sent. Israel must make sure all of this aid reaches the Palestinians in Gaza without delay, said Biden.
Students on college campuses across the nation call for a different resolution, pleading for violence to end and for the United States to support Palestinians in Gaza. Campuses such as Brown University, UCLA, New York University, and UC Berkeley have held student-led demonstrations in which overnight tent encampments are set up. Despite their efforts to remain peaceful, these protests have turned violent. At UCLA, fireworks were set off in the direction of protesters. At New York University, students clashed with police.
This new price hike being implemented next fall is expected to generate $149 million in the first year alone, with only $49 million going to financial aid for students. Today I spoke with students regarding the tuition increase. This new price hike being implemented next fall is expected to generate $149 million alone, with only $49 million going towards financial aid for students. Students have been left feeling overwhelmed and confused on why this price hike has been implemented. Why now? Where will the money go? Students receiving financial aid don't see this as much of a problem. However, for the students that do not qualify for financial aid, they will be stuck paying extra for tuition out of pocket without receiving any benefit.
Personally, I feel like the price increase for all Cal State schools is a bit unnecessary, especially for those who are already struggling to pay for their education.
Definitely going to impact a lot of people, especially myself, because I receive financial aid and whatnot, and I'm scared about how will my benefits be affected greatly? Will I receive more financial aid or less financial aid due to tuition rising?
Some people will probably have to take a gap year. I was thinking of taking a gap year in case I didn't get all the money. But yeah, I think it'll be really bad for everyone.
Mixed feelings, because the tuition at Cal State is still lower than most universities, so unreasonable to me.
Well, following up on the price hike this next fall semester, many students might have to get an extra job just to pay for a little more tuition.
The newly improved online financial aid application for the 2024 school year has been causing trouble for many ongoing and upcoming college students. Guadalupe Caballero has more.
The new 2024 online FAFSA application has made it difficult for students to apply. Students are facing trouble managing their parents' information and dealing with website glitches. College student Edith Gonzalez shares her experience.
This year there's a new requirement and you have to create an account for your parents. So as I was creating and submitting the information for the form, as I would save and submit the form, it would pop up with an error and it would basically send me back to the very beginning and make me have to input everything again, only for the same error to pop up. So I never got to actually go through the whole process.
Another problem was parent information. Now the system makes students make an account for their parents. Students are having trouble linking their parents' account to theirs because there's already an account made, or parents that do not have a social security number are not being accepted.
If I'm not able to submit the form on time, my biggest fear is that I won't be able to cover my tuition fully. I can't really rely on my parents because I know they won't be able to cover it fully, so I rely on the FAFSA.
Matilda Lopez, college counselor at Garfield High School, shares, "Initially, I have about 20% of total students who have trouble with FAFSA every year. This year, the rate went up to 60% of students who are having issues with FAFSA because of the new application. The Department of Education released a statement regarding the issues with FAFSA in an effort to find a solution. They are working to resolve the issue for contributors who do not have a social security number in the first half of March.
In recent news, Governor Gavin Newsom has extended the application dates to May 2nd. In Fullerton, Guadalupe Caballero, CSUF News.
After the break, we have more on the City of Fullerton's historic library reopening.
Stay tuned for that, this year's record low Coachella Festival attendance, and more.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah?
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger, the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to CSUF News with more news updates in the heart of Fullerton. We have a special report on the reopening of the Hunt Library.
That's right, Andrea. I was there earlier covering the reopening ceremony. Let's check it out. The Fullerton Hunt Library is set to reopen on April 13th after the Fullerton City Council unanimously voted to reopen the library last June. Numerous Orange County residents are excited, including Jocelyn Valdivia.
I feel really excited about the library reopening. I feel like libraries are very nice places that provide a lot of good resources for the community, and I just have really good feelings or connections with libraries, so I'm really excited about it.
The library has gone under 5 phases of restoration. Restoration funds were acquired through state grants, amounting to $5 million from 2020 through 2022. Of this funding, $250,000 was used towards programming and the rest was reserved for construction purposes. With its mission to educate, the City of Fullerton is working with several organizations to bring various services and programs to the Hunt Library. One of the organizations the city is working with is the Museum of Teaching and Learning. CEO Greta Nagel stated that the organization is installing a 6-month exhibition that tells the story of the landmark lawsuit Mendez versus Westminster School District. Nagel stated that the exhibition will include historic artifacts such as a paddle and a school desk with an inkwell. She is excited to work with the city and to have her exhibit be the first one on display for the library. More information on the Hunt Library to come as we approach the April 13th reopening date.
While food and housing may be expensive, clothing doesn't have to be. Shopping vintage and secondhand is a great way to save money and be more sustainable, and you might just find some pretty cool clothing pieces too. Here's Alex Heitman with more details about the secondhand clothing scene.
Vintage and secondhand clothing has become a very popular fashion choice over the past few years, which has helped lots of people open their small businesses.
I like vintage clothes a lot. Vintage clothes make me feel really cool. Whenever I wear vintage clothes, I feel like the coolest person there because I know that nobody else has on what I have on.
Fast fashion retailers are using materials for clothing that is scarce and is slowly ruining the fashion industry. Markets around LA, such as Los Feliz and Silver Lake, help people set up shop in order for customers to purchase from their business.
I just like selling vintage clothing just because there's a preservation in regards to like different subsets in fashion that vintage is always going to hold on a lot of people areas' hearts. Just a matter of what like a decade it is from the past.
The vintage clothing market is so interesting because based off rarity and the year it was made, t-shirts can sell anywhere from $10 to a few $100s like the shirts on this wall.
I'm currently in the parking lot where vendors are setting up shop for their event today. Things that they are selling range from the eras from the early 20s and the 1900s all the way to the early 2000s now. What I'm wearing right now is not something you would currently see normal reporters wear on air, but it is something that was very popular in the 30s and 40s.
One of the coolest things about selling vintage clothing is just how every article of clothing can kind of tell a different place in history. And you just see different trends kind of come in and die out. It kind of tells a story through fashion.
Although the vintage fashion industry is at an all-time surplus, it has always been a thing. Now it is easier than ever to support local businesses while supporting your closet.
I just feel like it's important for me to give back and support my community.
As vintage fashion continues to grow, make sure to stop by your local flea markets to support small businesses. Reporting for CSUF News, I'm Alex Heitman.
Thank you, Alex. Finding the right outfit is essential for attending festivals and concerts. However, this year's Coachella Festival did not sell out like the years prior.
Our entertainment reporter, Daniela Tiznado Toledo, has more on the story.
Thank you, Violetta and Andrea. 2 weeks ago, one of the music's biggest events, Coachella, took place in Indio, California. Despite the event drawing around 1,025,000 attendees each of the 2 weekends it was hosted, the festival had a record low amount of attendees, with tickets still available up until the day of. This is a stark comparison to 2015, when both weekends sold out in just 40 minutes. Some say the reason behind this is that the lineup wasn't worth the high price. Despite popular headliners like Lana Del Rey and Tyler, the Creator, the lineups weren't as popular as previous years. On top of this lackluster lineup, people simply don't have the disposable income like they had in the past. The ticket price is reaching up to $1,000 for the VIP package, plus food and transportation costs. It's not hard to see why many people passed on this year's festival. And that wraps up our entertainment news for today. Now back to you, Violetta and Andrea.
Thanks, Daniela. Cal State Fullerton students, watch out. Aggressive squirrels are on campus and they're not as cute and friendly as they look.
Our reporter Nick Wire has more on why you shouldn't mess with these furry friends.
Squirrels have become a new revelation on campus. They've even taken over social media, as videos of these squirrels have begun to pop up showing the aggressiveness of these rodents. Business major Justin Millsap has witnessed the squirrels attack students firsthand.
The craziest thing I've seen them do is actually climb up a girl's leg, and that was like the breaking point for me, where I was like, I can't sit out here anymore. Like, these squirrels might actually attack me.
Millsap marked the coordinates of a squirrel hotspot. These coordinates are outside Pollock Library, where the Starbucks entrance is located.
I would even push them away with my foot, and they would still keep trying. You would think that if you were to touch them, that would be enough for them to leave you alone. But they wouldn't stop, and that makes you a little bit afraid of what would they continue to do even if you were trying to stop them.
Some students still willingly interact with these squirrels. This video shows a female student attempting to feed the squirrel by hand, only to be bitten on the finger. Wildlife ecologist Paul Stapp believes humans are the cause as to why squirrels have become more brave and antagonistic. The reason the squirrels are aggressive is that people feed them, he says. This is not a squirrel problem, it's a people problem. Unfortunately, when wild animals become habituated to being fed, they can be aggressive in trying to get food. When these animals become overly bold to the point where people get fearful and complain, then the campus will be compelled to do something, which usually means killing the squirrels. As they say with bears in our forests, a fed bear is a dead bear. Same for squirrels.
They may be cute and furry, but they will steal your lunch and invade your personal space. Do not feed the squirrels or interact with them. This is Nicholas Wire, CSUF News.
That's all the news we have for you today. Tune in next time for more CSUF reports and other news updates. I'm Andrea Restrepo.
And I'm Violetta Sanchez. Have a great day.